Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Muslim Playlist.
Three Palestinian university students were shot in Burlington, Vermont. Assailant still at large. The ADC made a statement saying, after reviewing the initial information provided, we have reason to believe this shooting occurred because the victims are Arab. One of student gave an interview with her mom. Let's watch it.
I don't want to interrupt you. This sounds so horrific, what you've been through, but I wanted to talk a little bit about how you're dealing with this now that you've checked out from the hospital, how you're feeling, how you're coping.
Oh, sorry. Regarding coping, I'm feeling a lot better since he was caught. I don't think me or my friends would have left the hospital if he wasn't. And I'm also overwhelmed with the support. I didn't expect the story about a Palestinian being shot to go this far and wide, so I'm definitely extremely grateful for that. However, I still have this underlying fear because of the experience. So sometimes even like knocking at the door could like give kind of a bit of a fear response.
Okay, Tamara, you are Kenan's mother. The boys grew up in the West Bank, but decided to come here to study, where I'm assuming you thought that they would be safe. Yes. This is every mother's worst nightmare. So how are you coping, and can you make any sense of this? And I'm glad that there are people supporting you, Kenan, too. Go ahead, Tamara.
Absolutely. No, and he's right. The outpouring of support has been tremendous for us. Indeed, we sent him to the States to study, not just because it's safer, but because the opportunity for a strong liberal arts education. I was born and raised here and educated here, and I wanted my son to have the best education possible. And he got into an amazing university, so of course, why not? And absolutely, we thought that he would be safer here. As you all know, there's an active conflict in the West Bank and Gaza right now. So I certainly wasn't expecting my son to be shot on his, Thanksgiving holiday at my best friend's family home. It's just absolutely shocking. I'm still processing. It's going to be a long journey to sort of get through this and support Kenan through this. We're incredibly concerned for his friends who are still in critical condition. It's hard to make sense of this. It really is. Except just to say, when people are dehumanized and when there's rhetoric by, government officials and by the media, where Palestinians are not really seen as human, right? With this conflict in Gaza, we have the U.S. administration doubting the number of people that have died. We have to sort of prove how many babies have been killed. And at this time, quite honestly, I feel like no Palestinian is safe anywhere. So it's really frightening. It's really traumatizing. We're already grieving with some 20,000 people dead in Gaza and still digging bodies out from under the rubble. And we were already just so sort of afraid for ourselves. And then to have this happen in the United States is just so frightening. I can't even, I don't know what else to say other than that. I'm afraid. So I understand his fear response because the worst imaginable thing has happened.
You're both incredibly brave, and I just want to. We hope this man is brought to justice swiftly. But I want to ask you, what do you want people to understand about your son's experience and his two friends?
I want them to understand that these are just three regular kids, best friends who grew up from childhood together, who play chess a lot and are really sort of like smart. I call them nerds. I hope he doesn't mind, but like they're just normal kids. They went to a Quaker-affiliated school. And continued his education at a Quaker institution here in the United States. He is friends with everybody. Nobody that meets Kenan doesn't love him, and he didn't deserve this. None of the three deserve this. Nobody deserves this. And it makes it, I think, to me, it's quite obvious that if they weren't speaking Arabic, if they weren't wearing the keffiyeh that Kenan's wearing, which has become associated with Palestine because it's part of our traditional garb, but somehow it's become associated with terrorism only, then, and when that's repeated and repeated and repeated in movies and in press, and worst of all, from government leadership, then people who are already clearly filled with hate and have access to guns are going to find it incredibly easy to target somebody that looks like Kenan and his friends and that speaks like Kenan's and his friends.
Well,
just finally,
yeah.
Sorry, if I could, Whoopi, just finally to say that we're hearing stuff about the perpetrator's mental health. Look, I'm an American. I've seen this before. I watch the press, even though I don't live here. I'm tired, and we're all tired of hearing the humanizing aspect of perpetrators of gun violence when they don't look like us and when they're not minorities, talking right away about mental health. That's sad for people who actually have like serious mental health issues. Let's not give this man an excuse.
Right. Listen, first of all, thank you for sharing your story and reminding people that these are individuals. We have to see people as individuals and not paint them with one big swipe. Thank you both for coming.